Welcome. Thanks for joining us here for another episode of Live Local Marketing. We have Mr. Kyle Bailey with Front Burner Marketing with us today. Sir, thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir.
As the process goes, really quick review. We have all the topics we're going to ask him. He gets 120 seconds. If he goes over a little bit, not a big deal. If he goes under, we'll make sure to fill it. And at the very end, he's going to give us the outro where he talks about his business and how you can get a hold of him for more information. So we make it all about you, Kyle. You ready?
I'm ready. I got the Amazon delivery of the taser and I installed it that you press if I go over.
That's right. The shock collar. The shock
Right.
collar.
I'm on the clock.
Yeah, I know. If I could do that, that's my next episode. The shock collar. It would be a little entertainment value for everybody.
Except for the interviewee.
Oh, they'll get on. They'll get on pretty fast, right? They'll be like,
There you
"Oh,
go.
man,
There
I'm
you go.
definitely get 120 seconds."
Right.
All right, cool. So my first and my favorite question is always, as an entrepreneur, what do you consider your first win?
Yeah, I thought about that because I listened to a couple of your episodes. I listened to the one with the
Cool.
gold guy and I listened to the one with the Instagram guy. And I liked both of those. I've listened to a few others when I first signed up with you, but I really like both of those. And I wanted to pivot the answer just a little bit. My biggest win, probably in my business life, was when I was diagnosed as ADHD.
Mm,
And that was about a year and a half ago. And I'm 56, and I'm just really passionate about this because I think there's so many people out there living and struggling through a lot of shame. And that's what I went through. And it just blew the doors off my business because it enabled me to go, I didn't get that done, and that's okay. But
mm,
what's next? The that's okay piece has to be followed by what's next. Now, what are you going to do? There's places ADHDers shine, and then there's places where we struggle. And one of the questions I like that you talked about, like, what did you abandon? And one of the things I abandoned is anything I don't do well. And I
mm.
quit trying to, crawl up that pile of glass of going, I should be better at this, and using that shame mechanism. And instead going, this is not my strength. And it's not my strength because I'm lazy or because I'm not a good person or I'm not as good as that guy over there that I'm comparing myself to. It's because I just don't have that skill set. Here's some things that I do really well that he actually doesn't have. I'm going to lean into that and hire out this other thing. So that's been my it's actually helped me hire better team members too, because I'm able to
Yeah.
go, hey, listen, I'm giving you 3 shots at this. I really like you. You're a good person, but this isn't working in this role. Let's back burner your role for a little bit, and let's see if there's something else we can do. But it enables me to not use shame on them the same way I don't use it on myself anymore.
That's wonderful. That's a
Mhm.
wonderful answer. And it parlays us right, or moves us right into that next one, because if you're at the ADHD and you've been dealing with it, what's your best habit? What's your strength?
Yeah, habits are a real problem for us ADHDers. I'm what I call an intellectual omnivore. And the problem
Hmm.
with ADHD is you get a dopamine payoff by the smallest thing that doesn't make you any money. Like, I could go down a rabbit hole about Theodore Roosevelt and why he was the greatest president in the history of America, which I do believe that. Um, and it's not going to make me a dime. There's just nobody out there who's just begging to pay me money to do that. So I think recognition, it's probably a stack of habits. It's recognition, learning to recognize when something's going sideways for me
Hmm.
that's not productive. And again, I'm not using the shame mechanism. I'm not going, here I go again doing this thing. I'm saying,
Absolutely.
hey, that's not the best use of time right now. What's the chief goal? That becomes a problem too with ADHDers. Is we have perspective blindness, so you don't have the ability like other people do to go. This is I can easily see this is the most important thing for me to do. I don't have that. Everything looks equally as important. So I have to chart out ahead of time. I have to go, these are the most
Uh,
important. How can I move the needle the most for this customer? Once I ask myself that question, now I get out of the pressure of the moment and I go, in the next week, if I could do these 5 things or these 2 things or this one thing, this would move the needle from them the most. And how does that fit into the 90-day window, the 1-year window that we've talked about? And so strategic habits, those discussions, having those with myself, and then having them with the client, that's been a great. If you've never read Atomic Habits,
yep.
it goes into this.
Yep.
It's called habit stacking, and so
Yep.
you do something with something else that you already do. So, like, as I'm brushing my teeth, I go over ABC. As I break from one task, I review looking into the next. So things like that. Those are the habit stacking pieces. The review and then being okay with being wrong, because we can't grow without being wrong. That's just something that
Mhm.
I deeply resonate with. It's okay to be wrong. In fact, it's good. Go find it, because that's going to be your next growth point.
Plus, nobody's going to be right every single time. It's just not a possibility. Like, there's going to be things that go wrong no matter what.
Don't you find that interesting, though, that it's
Yeah.
easy to logically accept that as true? And if that's true, then why is it so easy for me to get wrapped around the axle when I am wrong? Why is it
Yeah.
hard for me to accept that? Don't you find that interesting? It's one of those
Self
human foible
competition.
things.
You're competing with yourself.
Yeah, I guess so.
You're always pushing yourself, competing with yourself. That's good. That's
Mhm.
awesome. All right. So one of the things one of your strengths too is you work a lot with businesses and you help them set up their SEO and you help them. When you have those conversations, what kind of how does a conversation go around brand stories? What do
Yeah.
you focus at that? What do you talk to them about that?
Yeah, I'm really glad you had this in the question set,
Yeah,
because I'm writing a book on this. It'll be out,
that's
should be
awesome.
out late next week, early the following. That's where we're targeting
Go ahead, plug
December the
it.
20th.
What's the name?
Well, I need a
Not
byline.
yet.
What's your
Okay.
story is the name of it. I
Okay.
need a byline. I'm struggling to make it short. That's what I'm struggling with. So the byline needs to be, it's something like how to connect your story with your customer's
Mm,
story
that's
that
good.
results in loyalty to your brand. But that's a really long byline. So I don't know about the byline, but what's your story will be the main title. Yeah.
Okay. So those conversations you have with them, right? You sit down with a client or a customer who's doing plumbing or
Right.
electric.
Yes. Home service
How's that
business. Yep.
conversation go? Because I mean, there's a million plumbers.
Yes. And that's the point. That's the point of
Yeah.
the book, is that everybody says the same things.
Yep.
Let's separate two categories: legitimate businesses that run 2 trucks or more, probably 3 trucks or more, because at that point they have a good enough systems to run 3 trucks and not go under.
Hmm.
The one chucking a trucks, the folks who are changing their name every few years because they run things
Yeah.
in the ditch so much. I'm not talking about them. Talking about solid people who've
Legit.
who've
Okay.
built solid businesses. So the problem is they never tell their story. They don't have a brand identity. And
Yeah.
if you look at the franchise entities out there, the Roto Rooters, Paul Dean, not Paul Dean, Paul Davis Restoration.
Okay.
He's a franchise. That's a franchise water damage restoration company. They all have some identifying, like you see their truck from 6 blocks away and you know what it is.
Yep.
And that's because they made the full investment to go all the way down the rabbit hole and identify their entire business with this core brand idea. But I think most service business owners don't know how to start that. They don't know the value of it. And it's
Yep.
like, where do you even start? And so that's what I'm the goal with the book is to give them a mechanism to start that process, because
Got it.
it's a full commitment. You have to really dive down deep in yourself and understand yourself and your business and your deliverables. Then you have to start executing on that. And after that, that's when
Stacking.
you can mascot it or tag it or whatever.
Yeah. You seem to have a lot of stacking. You seem to
Yes.
be able to start and then stack to build up a business. It seems like our theme going so far.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're doing this, you're hustling around, you're doing a million things. How do you avoid burnout? That's the $1 million question these days because everybody's doing all the things. So how do you
Yes.
avoid burnout?
That's a great question. I really enjoyed the other answers. My favorite was the Instagram guy. I don't have any friends. I like have a cigar. Guy's 30 years old and he sounds like 80-year-old Mr. Scrooge. I love that guy.
He does.
I don't
Yeah.
talk to people. You get away with me. You're networking. You got to find out what restores
Uh,
you. I'm a
okay.
Christian. I read the Bible a lot, and the books you see behind me. Most of those are theological
Yeah.
books. That gives me a lot of restoration. I'm a musician. I play several instruments. I play with
Really?
several bands here in Austin. Candy Coburn band. Um, and the thing for me is I don't gain a whole lot from just sitting still and not doing anything.
Okay.
So what I do find though is there's different parts of my brain that are engaged with different activities. So I can work real hard. We're launching 2 websites for 2 different home service companies this week. And so I can go deep on these websites and be down in the minutia, and then I can feel that starting to fatigue maybe a little bit.
Mm,
and those tasky marketing things. So then, I'll pick up a guitar. I've always got a guitar out, and I'll play through 2 or 3 songs that I'm working on at the time. I also write songs,
that's
so
cool.
I'll work through that, and that just operates a different part of my brain. And then, like I said, I'm writing a book. I've got 2 other books in the pipe, and so if I fatigue on one book, I'll just jump to the other one, and I'll find
Mm,
that the momentum that's already sitting there engages my brain, and I feed off that. Then there's the other stage, which there come times when it's like you're fully brain exhausted. Take a
yeah.
walk, take a couple of days, and do as little as possible, and really like do as little as possible. Take walks, long walks, go for a drive. If you like driving, get on the water. If you like water, get in touch with, go out barefoot, really
Nature.
reconnect with what revives you.
You could take a guitar and go for a walk and you could be a traveling minstrel. You could
Yes,
lop
you could just, yes,
all of your hobbies in one thing. The
yes, just
Bible
like
and
song
the
bomb into
guitar and
somebody's
the walking.
barbecue, just be
That's
jumping
right.
in. No, you must listen to the song. I'm 6'3", 300 pounds. Most people aren't gonna turn me away. They're just like, oh,
No,
I
there's
guess,
at least just listen to the song and give you $1.
yeah, maybe you'll leave after that. Yeah.
All right, cool. So in your marketing business at the moment, what is your current favorite strategy? What are you doing that's really working and you're having a lot of fun doing it?
Man, I'll tell you, my favorite thing is untangling problems for these home
Okay.
service folks, because you have the roofer that we're working on right now. He started his business because um things weren't going the way that he would like them to go before. And so he decided, I'm going to go ahead and start this. And I have good systems, I have good references and everything. And so he started it, but you've got this great referral engine. He's already getting great reviews,
Cool.
but his website is this little 2-page thing
Mm,
that is a drag and drop. So it doesn't reflect the brand at all. So, and then he like, why aren't we making any progress from an SEO and local SEO, Google Maps standpoint? And I deliver the bad news of like, that's never going to work. You're
right.
trying to push an ocean through a straw. You've got to give Google enough material to digest, and you do that through individual service pages and a solid website that has all the channels open. And a lot of people believe AI is going to replace that, but I think now what we're seeing is what I suspected from the beginning, which is AI wants all that material. They want to go find
Yeah,
that
makes sense.
material to return it on the LLM. So it's all about clarity of messaging. Now, if you now you take the next step and you attach that story of who you are and your brand, your core values, and then what's the unique special sauce? Is it your dog? Like my brother has an attic insulation company and he has twins, and he put, just on a whim, he put a picture, like a cartoon picture of his 2 boys with cowboy hats on, because it was a great Christmas picture that he had.
Yeah,
And man, he gets so much engagement for that. So we've
that's
wrapped that
cool.
into the brand, and it really, the story is my favorite thing. I love people, I love companies, I love success stories, and getting to tell that, I think, is my favorite part.
Yeah, you do a lot of stuff, and you had a lot of tutorials about service pages. That was interesting to me. I dove into a few of those. They're very interesting because they're very forgotten, I think,
Yes,
by most people, and
it's the
they're also
superpower.
great SEOs. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So, folks, if you haven't had a chance, hop on his stuff because his content on service pages is boringly enlightening,
Yes. It's
but it's
one of
good.
the boring, it's like
Yeah,
insurance, a boring way to make money.
yes, yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
yeah,
You're like,
yeah,
this is great stuff, but I'm still looking at service pages. But you're like, I know I need it. It's one of those things. Yeah.
yeah.
So
I'll
good
tell
stuff.
you one quick thing on service pages. The thing that blew me away is, you can, if you do it right, and I talk about it on several of my tutorials, you
Yes.
can be number 1 on
Yep.
a Google page that does not have a
Yep.
map, because
Yep.
there's smaller areas, and you'll get those leads. And you can do that. A lot of times they rank in 24 hours. It's really
Yep.
amazing. Yeah.
Okay, so on the same topic, so you're doing the service pages, you're doing the Google. When I say useful data, what does that mean to you?
Oh, wow. Great question. Yeah, it's like an ocean, and there's 1 cubic meter of ocean water in there.
Yes.
That
Yep.
is the value
Yep.
for your business, and you gotta go find it.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think this is probably the place that probably gives, small, home service folks tired head faster than anything. Because, like, where do you even start? you know, and they've all been inundated by these cheap SEOs who give them these 17-page reports with all this data. And it's clear to me as an SEO pro that what they're doing is they're burying mediocrity in data. So I like to figure out, like, what are the clicks don't matter if they're not on buyer intent keywords. For home service businesses, you know, like my most successful client, they get about 120 clicks a month, which in the SEO world is not very much. It's not. You know, you got guys out there talking, yeah, we went from 3,000 to 30,000 and we did this and that. But if you're in a suburb of Dallas, Texas, and you do high-end remodeling, you're not going to get 30,000 clicks a month. The only way you will is if you go really broad, and then a lot of people are using your site for reference, but they're not buying from you. And so the useful data is, what is the closest click to your purchase? When somebody will click on your site, we're starting to get usable LLM data now. And so there's ways you could tell. Microsoft Clarity has a great free product that you can connect to your site, and you can actually watch how people search on your site. You can watch their mouse move around. And that's that, along with like Search Console. There's some great free paid tools. I mean, great paid tools out there. But you know, you're going to pay $3,000 a year, you know, something like that for really good tools. But understanding how your ideal prospect moves through your website
Yes.
is just the most. You cannot overvalue that.
And I was going to say too, I think a lot of the websites now, you can actually track what, like Wix and Weebly, they will actually track what clicks are going where and stuff too, right? That data, that and analytics is available to us.
Yeah. The problem with Wix and Weebly is you're just
Or
behind the
is
eight
it
ball from an SEO standpoint, and so it's
Yeah.
like a trade off. You can get that information. Just go WordPress. There's still nothing better, even with all the AI stuff out there, because you can build a great website with some AI tools, but now you got to maintain it, and so
Mhm.
you're back to the same problem. Just go with WordPress. It still is the best thing out there, in my opinion.
Awesome. All right. So as we almost have to wrap up, one of the
Yeah.
questions I always ask too is, you've been doing this for a long time. You've got the
Mhm.
confidence. You know what you're doing. So when you meet some youngsters, entrepreneurs that are just getting up and running, how do they build confidence? What would be your advice to them?
Well, if you never listened to Alex Hormozy, go listen to Alex
Okay.
Hormozy. I'm so impressed and blown away and intimidated by that guy. You know, he's about 20 years younger than me, with about 20 million times as much success.
Yeah.
But he did,
Yeah.
he did it because he started asking himself the hard questions. And one of the things he says, I don't know if he says it exactly like this, but this is how I steal it from him, is competence rhymes with confidence for a reason. Of
Mm.
course, if you're not speaking English, that's not going to make any sense. But uh, but
Yeah.
competence, when you do something and it works, nothing can replace that. Nothing can replace that. You can fake it till you make it and all that other
Yeah.
nonsense that we've been preaching and screaming for 20 years now, but nothing replaces, I did this and it worked and here was the result. And then I went and got better at it. Now that's where you, like, nobody who can shake you off of that. You know,
Yeah.
who's going to come and tell you when you did it and then you improved it and got better? Who's going to shake your confidence on that, you know? Nothing. So go out and execute. The best advice I ever got was get on a WordPress site and start managing it. And I wish I'd have done that earlier. I've been doing this
Okay.
over 15 years now. And the first year somebody said, just go start managing a WordPress site. And I didn't understand what that meant. You know, guys just started. And so back then, one of the things with ADHD is sometimes you're really intimidated by knowledge that you don't have, that somebody
Yeah.
assumes you have. And that was me at the time. But if I could have done that earlier, I definitely would have done that. So whatever it is in your industry, go start operating in it. If it's Instagram, go shoot some in-person videos in front of businesses, and then try to sell it to them. Try to get them to give you $50 to do it,
There you go.
and then get a little bit better. When somebody takes money out of their wallet to pay you, that's a painful thing. They worked hard to get that money in their wallet,
Yeah.
and it feels
Yeah.
nice and cozy there. So if you get them to part with it, that means you're speaking value to them. And that if that doesn't build confidence in you, reach out to me on my website and we'll talk about what I did wrong.
That's great. That is awesome. All right. So before we let you do the outro and talk about the business and where to get a hold of you, it does seem like you're great at like getting in there, get your hands dirty, and then stacking. I know this. Now I need to know this. Now I need to know this. Now I'm going to
Yep.
learn how to do this.
Yep.
You seem like you're a habit stacker, and that seems to be your overall marketing advice for all of us, is to get out there, get your hands dirty, just make the mistakes, and then build upon it. Am I about right there?
Yeah, you got to figure out, try find the smallest step you can take. That's a forward
There it
step.
is.
Measure that, and then see what you can do to improve it. Don't try to bite off the whole thing at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
You know, it's not politically correct to say this, but the old statement, "How do you eat an elephant one tablespoonful at a time?" You
Yeah,
know,
I've heard that. Yep.
yeah, and it's,
Yep.
another, my friend in my church says, "You gotta just swallow the bug. Go take the smallest step you can take." And, Alex Hormozy says this too, and I love it. It's probably my favorite statement right now, my favorite philosophical statement. As a home service business owner, the work works on you more than you work on the work, if
Hmm.
you're honest and accountable. And
That's
so
awesome.
in these places where you go in and you try something and it fails, don't just throw a lot of excuses at it and turn your head away from it. Open up. Like, what could I have done better? What's showing up for me? A statement I really like is, I notice that when X happened, Y came up for me. I'm curious about that. You can't be curious and in lizard brain at the same time. So lizard brain is fight or flight, and that's what keeps us trying to protect
Yeah.
ourselves. But if we release our grip and go, I'm curious about that. What could be different? What would it look like for that to be different? That's a really powerful tool that's been very beneficial for me.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate this. Is a lot of good stuff here today. The folks are getting educated. All right, so we're gonna leave on your note. We're going to talk about your business and then your call to action, how they can get a hold of you for more information.
Yeah, frontburnermarketing.net. I've also got Front Burner Marketing on YouTube, LinkedIn. I'm the Kyle Bailey on LinkedIn and Facebook. I've also got my Facebook channel. Try to put out content on all of those uniformly. Getting better at that. And then my book should be out by the 20th of December.
Okay, and that's going to be on the website too. The book sale.
Yeah, I'll have a website on that, and I'm going to kick off a podcast next year. But that's not done yet.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and book me now because
I
I
do.
get busy. So make
There you go.
sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for your
Absolutely.
time today. Make sure you check out his stuff because he's got a lot of great content, a lot of practical steps, and a lot of simple ones that are really useful to build your business. So, Kyle, thank you for your time today. We appreciate your knowledge.
Oh, one last thing, the thing that
Do it.
I had planned to say. So we just released some HVAC and roofer specific
Okay.
guides. So reach out on my website. If you don't find them, tell me, because that's a problem. But they should be very readily accessible.
All right. That's awesome. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you, Billy. Have a great day.